guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Laura. I'm a personal trainer, nutritionist, and amateur bikini competitor. And if you are not new here, welcome back. And I just want to start off by thanking all of you for following along my bikini competition prep series. All of the words of encouragement and just the views and the comments were really uplifting and encouraging, and I really appreciate them from the bottom of my heart. So thank you for following along with that. This video is going to be my beginning to my reverse diet series. So like I said a couple videos ago, I am going to be documenting my reverse diet the way that I documented my bikini competition prep, because this part is just as important as the prep to get to the stage. Coming out of the stage is super important hormonally, metabolically. So I'm going to take you along for the next 8 weeks, I think. Obviously, I'm going to continue lifting past the 8 weeks, but I think the first 8 weeks is like crucial for a reverse diet. So yeah, hope you will enjoy following me. I also wanted to take this time to share my post-show thoughts with you guys. So I think that I mentioned in my last video that I came in 5th place in novice, and then I didn't place in the open division. And to be honest, I was very disappointed on the day. And I was trying not to be, because I feel like, sorry, my dog is moving my tripod again. I feel like when I competed last year, my first 2 competitions, I was just treating them as like fun, like it was just a bucket list thing. And so I was like, whatever, I have no expectations, just going into this to have fun. And I did. And obviously I didn't place really well. I got like last place in every like category, but I still had fun, and I just like soaked up the whole experience, and it was amazing. My dog is licking my tripod, sorry. Stop it. I do wish that for this prep, I hadn't taken it as seriously. I think, you know what it is, like when I get into something, I get super into it. Like I get obsessed, which sometimes is a good thing and then sometimes is to my detriment. But, yeah, like I think after last year's competitions, I just got really into the sport in general. Like I even went to the Olympia in Vegas in December, like to watch, you know, my favorite bikini competitors, and I follow all of them on Instagram, and I'm like huge fan of all of them, and just, you know, I just dove really deep into the sport. And I think it's good because it gave me a much deeper appreciation and deeper knowledge of the sport going into this prep. But I think that having that level of obsession kind of just, I was in too deep, if that makes sense. Like I just cared too much, especially for something that like, I don't know, like I never had intentions of going pro or anything. So, but I think I cared as if I was gonna go pro, if that makes sense. So caring that much just kind of like led to disappointment when I didn't do as well as I thought I was going to. But I still have a tremendous amount of respect for the sport, because there is no, you know, instant gratification. Like I have to work my ass off if I want to even be competitive in this sport, even at the amateur level. So it was kind of like just an eye-opening like experience, I guess, that like I gave it my all, like 100,000% into this prep, which I did last prep too. But this prep, I was like even more laser focused. Like I was like, nothing is getting in my way. I'm not getting distracted by anything else. And to end up in 5th place after that was just like, I don't know, it was just like a shot to the heart, you know? Anyway, about the show in general, muscle contest, you know, they always put on a good show. Everybody's super friendly that works there. The judges were really, really personable and nice, and like got more intimate than like my last competitions, because this one was a smaller show. So, you know, I got to know the judges a little bit better, I would say, than last year. And yeah, everything ran super smoothly. I was really happy about that because I was worried that, you know, my hair and makeup appointment was going to be too late and then I wasn't going to be on stage on time like last year. So thankfully all of that ran really smoothly. Sorry, my dog is making so much noise and it's really bothering me. Can you relax, please? Mommy's trying to film a YouTube video. Thank you. So yeah, show ran smoothly. As far as like the placings go, I was confused because my feedback was actually really, really good. My feedback was that my glutes were full, which is good. They just needed to be a little bit rounder, and my delts needed a little bit more shape, but they were, you know, good. Conditioning was on point, physique was on point. And then just like my front pose, I just needed to stand a little bit more upright. But other than that, they like said that whatever, I looked great. I had great stage presence. So I left a little bit confused just because I don't want to put anybody down, and I'm not going to, and I'm not going to show stage pictures of comparisons, but the girl that got 4th place in the division that I got 5th place in, I was just confused. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not like a sore loser, and I'm not even a competitive person to begin with. Like, I've never been like, I'm gonna win, I need to win. So like, I don't like that this competition has kind of brought this side out of me. But my coach was pissed, he said, and he like didn't understand the judges' decisions and stuff. And also from hearing like other people's feedback versus mine, I guess I was just confused of like what exactly it is that they're looking for, because based on my feedback, it seemed like I should have placed higher, if that makes sense. So anyway, I feel like I'm disappointed in the fact that I thought that I could do better, and that also like I had other people around me like kind of gassing me up, like, oh my God, you're gonna win, like my clients, my coach, like my boyfriend, like everybody like gassing me up. And I feel more disappointed in like letting them down as opposed to like myself, because I didn't let myself down, because I worked my ass off. I know the time and effort that I put in. And so I know that like I did all I could possibly do. And it's more of just like feeling like I had all these, like people had like all these high hopes for me that just didn't come to fruition. And then like just kind of like disappointment at like that other factors other than like the package I brought in my physique could have played into that, like politics or whatever it might have been. Kind of just left me feeling like miffed. Is that the word? Like when you're just kind of like, I'm not like pissed off. I'm just kind of like, ugh, like just kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth type of thing. Anyway, my plan now, coming out of this show, is obviously to reverse myself out, but prior to the show, like while I was in prep, you know, I get so like high off of prep. Like I love being on prep that I was like, yeah, I'll probably do another show this year. Like I want to do one in November, like, and you know, just getting excited for the next one basically. But after this show, I think what I took away most from this show is that like for the past, I don't know how many years, like 5, 7 years, like ever since I lost all the weight, if you're new here, I lost like 65 pounds about 6 years ago. Since I lost all the weight, I have been challenging myself in different like physical like events or activities, whatever. And I'm always like setting a date for myself, like, okay, I'm gonna run a 10K on this day, okay, and then I'm gonna run a marathon on this day. And like, I'm always like training for the next event. And first I started out with running, then I did like the Spartan races and stuff like that. And then, you know, I started bodybuilding and doing competitions. And I just realized like, I want to make sure that I can like hold myself accountable and stick to a plan for myself without the promise of an event coming up, like without the like needing to be ready for an event, if that makes sense. So I've kind of decided that I'm going to take like a couple years off before I do my next bikini competition. I do want to compete again. Next time I definitely will be doing a natural show, so not NPC, not muscle contest. It'll probably be like an OCB show, just because, you know, the sport of bodybuilding is becoming increasingly more competitive, and the bikini division has totally transformed from what it used to be. It used to be totally achievable, and like you could have won and been competitive at a competitive level with a natural physique. And unfortunately now it's just not like that anymore, which, you know, like kudos to the girls that are willing to like push it that far and take things that, you know, are altering their hormones for the sport. Like that's a whole other level of dedication and commitment that like I'm just not there for this sport. Like I'm not gonna be ever at that level for this sport. But yeah, so I do want to do a natural show, but it's probably not going to be for a couple of years, because even though I can see, like logically, I can see that my physique this year looked way better than last year's, a part of me still just felt like I just wasn't, it just wasn't enough. Like it just wasn't cutting it for the stage. Or like to be like with being like competing against those other girls. So I want to really grow. And I also want to make sure that this is a lifestyle that I can sustain without a show date in mind. Just living like a bodybuilder for the next couple years and putting in the work, and putting in the time. And then the physique I bring next time will first of all be even more insane and like way better, but also it'll just be more hard earned because I'll have been doing it for longer without, you know, a show date coming up. And I want to really I want to really live this way. And I'm excited to do it without knowing when a show will be. Because that's how most bodybuilders live. Most bodybuilders don't ever compete. And like, there's nothing wrong with that, you know? I know that I can do it, but I just want to prove to myself that like, there doesn't need to be an event coming up in order for me to train a certain way or to eat a certain way or to live a certain way. Okay, now moment of truth. I know everybody's been waiting to hear everything I ate post-show. So I'm gonna put, I don't know, pictures and videos of everything. So basically, after the show, we went out to eat at like this Thai Indian spot, which was delicious. My best friend Avital got me a cake that was so beautiful. It had a little bodybuilder on it, like a little bikini girl. And then the next morning was my birthday, and we went out to brunch. And after that brunch, I felt like shit. Like I literally felt hungover. Like I had like gone on a bender like the night before. My head was pounding. My stomach hurt. Like I felt like I was gonna throw up. My throat was hurting too. Like I felt like I was getting sick, like a cold. It was just all around just really bad. And so then we drove from San Jose to Santa Cruz, and that was like an hour drive. And that whole drive I was like dying. Like I felt so sick. And then we walked around, and that helped a lot actually. We walked, didn't really eat anything again until dinner. And then for dinner I was like, okay, I need to like keep it like a little bit healthier. So I just got like a tofu rice bowl, just because I did not want to feel that way again, like the way I felt after brunch. And then we had ice cream after, because we were right around the corner from an ice cream spot. And I had been all prep. All I wanted was a pizookie, like a cookie with ice cream on top. So I finally got it. But I shared it with my boyfriend, and so afterwards I actually felt okay. I think because like I didn't eat the whole thing, and like, you know, I had eaten relatively cleaner for dinner. And then the next day it was just me, my boyfriend, and my parents, and we went down the coast a little bit more. We went to Monterey and Carmel by the Sea. For breakfast, I kept it really clean. I just did my like regular Ezekiel bread with almond butter and a banana, and a protein shake. And then when we were ready for lunch, then we went to a seafood spot called Schooners, and it was really beautiful. It was like right on the water. But we had fries, focaccia bread, a burrata salad, and then I think I ordered like Brussels sprouts just as like my entree. And again, I felt like shit after that. And you'd be like, why? Like that sounds like relatively like okay, but like the thing about prep is that you're using spray oils the whole time. Like you can't use regular like cooking like olive oil. And you absolutely have no sugar whatsoever. So I think it was just like, because when you go to a restaurant, everything is cooked in oil, and like a lot of it, like more than normal. And everything has sugar. So like the Brussels sprouts I got had like blueberries and some like miso glazed sauce that was like full of sugar, I'm sure, and cooked in oil. The fries were so oily, like drenched in oil. And so I think that I was just feeling that way again, like the headache, the pounding headache, like lethargic, nauseous, just like I literally felt like I just wanted to like lay down and like be in a dark room. It was so bad. But I think that was from the oils and the sugars being reintroduced into my diet. Like my body was like, it was foreign to my body. And so then we got a coffee because I was like, I need to perk up, because like I knew that I was just feeling really drained of my energy from like the sugar and the oils. So I got a coffee, and then I felt a little bit better. And then for dinner, I was like, I really can't do like a whole other meal like we just did, because I don't want to feel that way ever again. So We kept it pretty light. We did like just like family style, just like share plate, like small plates. So it was like a pasta and some like cauliflower rice and asparagus that we had for dinner, which sat really well with me. That was like, okay, healthier, you know. And then I don't think we got dessert that night. I think me and my boyfriend just went back to the hotel and then like snacked on some of the like candies that we brought with us. And that was a really hard part for me because I bought so much candy to have post show, and unfortunately not enough of it like went on the first night. So then like we had it left over for the rest of the trip because me and my boyfriend were traveling down the coast for a few days by ourselves. And so like having it there was just a temptation. Even though I knew I didn't have to eat it, I could save it, I could bring it back home, I could give it to friends once I got home. But I really struggled. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was really, really struggling this whole trip. The only other time in my life that I ever felt like I had an eating disorder was immediately post show last year. Like 2 weeks after the show, I went on a trip with my boyfriend, and you know, obviously there was a lot of food involved, and I just felt like I had an eating disorder because I wasn't letting myself eat stuff. I was, you know, super analytical of everything. I was trying to track everything like to a T. And that's how I felt, unfortunately, after this show. And I didn't want to step on the scale at all while my boyfriend and I were on vacation. But my coach wanted me to check in with him on Tuesday. And we were still traveling on Tuesday. So I did get on the scale. I did send him a check-in, and I was up 8 pounds from my show weight, which is actually not that bad. I've heard of some competitors going up like 15, 20 pounds in a few days. It's not ideal, obviously, but, you know, it's kind of like the damage that I expected, you know? So, I stepped on the scale for that. And then, my boyfriend and I actually did a couple of free trial days at a gym while we were out there, because I was like, I need to work out. Like, it wasn't even because of the food. It was just because like my energy is so low if I don't work out like throughout the day. Like coffee just doesn't cut it. Like I need the endorphins from a workout. So once we started like working out, and then when it was just me and him and like my parents were gone, it was easier for us to kind of like stay on track with like our regular like staple meals. Like we brought protein bars with us, oatmeal, you know, we had like all of our like regular protein sources. And so it became a lot easier to like, I don't know, I guess manage like how crazy my mind was going. Once I was able to work out and track my macros a little bit. Like I was still going off plan because like we were doing wine tastings and stuff. And I wasn't able to track that. But as far as food goes, I pretty much like stuck to the macros that Jonas gave me for the reverse diet, which are 200 grams of carbs, 54 fat, and 165 protein. And that sounds really high to me. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've been on 80 grams of carbs for the past like 4 weeks, but 200 grams of carbs sounds super high. But my appetite is like insane. Like I feel like I'll eat something and then I'm hungry immediately, which I know is a normal phenomenon. I know a lot of bikini competitors deal with this post-show, is like they say that they feel hungrier like after the show when they're eating more calories. So it's just something that I've been struggling with, and I know I'll get through it. But yeah, I just have to be completely transparent with you guys. I did have like a breakdown basically while I was in Paso Robles with my boyfriend. We were like we had just gotten ice cream or something like that. And then I had a breakdown because I was like, I am really struggling, because it's like you want to experience life and have fun and live in the moment and be present. But then like in the back of your mind, you're like, but you're going to lose all the progress that you just worked 6 months for. And that feels like shit, you know, to have that like voice in your head. So, and those two things like conflicting is like, it's enough to drive you insane. Like I literally felt like I was going crazy because I was just at war with those two sides the whole time. But after I talked to Avital, my best friend, about it, and she was like, just enjoy yourself. Like you're gonna regret it if you don't just like live, just experience it, just eat, you know, just relax. Like your body is gonna bounce back to normal after this once you get on your regular plan. And after she told me that, I definitely relaxed into the trip a little bit more. And yeah, so I had fun. Despite the difficulties, it was a great trip. My boyfriend and I really needed it. We haven't been traveling as much as we normally do. We haven't even really been spending as much time together as we normally do because this prep just overtook our lives and we both work a lot. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I'm really happy that I enjoyed myself the way I did, because now I'm back on track. I got back last night and I meal prepped all my meals for the week. So I'm back at it today. Another thing that I'm going to work on next time I prep is just being more present throughout and making sure that I stay on track with my like meditation and my mindfulness practices, because I feel like when I got to show day, because I hadn't been meditating and practicing gratitude for the whole 6 months, because I just was too busy and, you know, too focused on like the competition to do that. It was hard for me to practice gratitude and stay mindful and present on show day. And that's something I normally don't struggle with because I'm always in a constant state of gratitude, and it's always pretty easy for me to connect to myself and go within and meditate and stuff like that. But I just noticed even like right before I got on stage, my mindset was all over the place. I was like, okay, I have to hold my pose this way and I have to make sure I'm doing this and doing that, and like worrying about all these technical things that just like, I wasn't like, just breathe, like you got this, like enjoy it, smile, you know, like be proud of your hard work. And so that's a feeling that I wish I had cultivated a little bit more, like heading into the show. But that's something that I will do better about next time. So yeah. So I just wanted to catch you guys up on everything because the past week has been like a whirlwind. And yeah, I'm going to start, maybe I'll do like a full day of eating in my next one for my reverse diet, or I'll take you through a training session again now that I can like actually lift weights and I don't feel like super weak and tired. So yeah, thank you guys for following along. And if you're going to continue watching my reverse diet series, I appreciate you in advance. And I will catch you in the next one. Hi guys. So I just got done with my first lift back in my home gym. That felt really good. I did legs and then just 25 minutes of cardio. But while I was lifting, I had some thoughts and I just wanted to share them because it's something that I've been struggling with post-show. Is like, you know, I do wish I could go back in time and be a little more present on show day and just grateful and happy, because like looking at the pictures, my boyfriend has the biggest smile on his face, like all day, show day. And I mean, I was smiling in my pictures too, but like, I just know like how I was like personally feeling, which was like more disappointment than anything. And I think I was feeling like kind of betrayed by like my mind, because I am a big believer in visualization, and like if you can see it, you can do it. Like, you know, you just have to like hold on to that vision and see yourself doing it every day. And that's what I was doing with the show. I was visualizing myself on stage, seeing myself like, you know, winning, shining, and whatever. And that didn't happen. And so I think the lesson here is not that like you can't do anything that you like, you know, put your mind to. That's not the lesson at all. But I think that just because it didn't happen this time doesn't mean that it won't ever happen. But also, like, if I choose to stop competing, you know, totally, it doesn't mean that vision, like, not coming to fruition in the way that I wanted it to, doesn't mean that like it didn't achieve what I wanted it to achieve. I hope that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is that the reason that I started competing was to challenge myself, yes, but also to inspire others and to show people that it is possible, and you can go from being obese and overweight the way that I was to like a bikini competitor, and by just changing, you know, your lifestyle habits and choices. And that's the reason that I became a personal trainer as well, was to like inspire people, impact them, you know, motivate them to make healthier choices in their lives. So basically what I'm saying is, just because the vision that I had for the show didn't play out the way that I had been envisioning it, doesn't mean that the benefit of what I was trying to achieve by competing didn't happen. So basically, like, I still inspired people, you know, because I've had my clients reaching out to me, and just other people on Instagram being like, wow, like, you're so inspiring, like, you look amazing, oh my gosh, and stuff like that. And like, just because I didn't win or didn't, you know, place higher than I did, doesn't mean that like those people aren't still inspired by me. And so I just have to like take a step back from like the competition aspect of it to like look at all of the good that happened and all of the benefits that happened from like the show and the outcome of the show. And that's something that was hard for me to do this past weekend. And I feel like I had to feel the immediate disappointment and all of the feelings surrounding it like a couple days after the show, because I wanted to process it immediately so that I wouldn't bring it home with me, if that makes sense. Like, now that I'm back in my regular life in LA, like, I did not want to bring those like negative feelings with me. I wanted to just kind of like leave them there, like at the competition, and like bring back the positives. And so that's what I'm trying to do now. So yeah, I'm not like sitting in any like disappointment or anything. I'm like super proud of myself and grateful for the way that it played out and the lessons that I learned from it, because just seeing my boyfriend and like his smiling face was a lesson in and of itself, you know, like that he like went in with no expectations, just to have fun, just to like show off his hard work, and was super proud of himself, and he fucking killed it. And he got 5th place and at his first show, and he looked amazing. And like his attitude really inspired me. You know, I couldn't see it at the time, like at the day of, but like taking a step back and looking at all the pictures, I'm like, wow, like that is inspiring. And that's what I want to do for people. And no matter what the placing was, you know, so, and that's what I think I am doing for people. So I just, yeah, wanted to hop on here to say that.